Hi, this is Ed Sullivan and Mark Oberti, and today we're going to be talking about non-compete agreements and their enforceability. So we're starting out a new series of top 10 questions about non-compete agreements. Mark, question number 10 is, when is non-compete agreement enforceable under Texas law?
Well, over the last roughly 6 years, the Texas Supreme Court has pretty much dramatically broadened the enforceability of non-competes and made it much easier for employers to have non-competes and for them to be upheld. And essentially two areas. One, when the employer promises to give the employee access to confidential information in return for the employee's promise not to disclose it, and then you can execute a non-compete as part of that agreement and it will be enforceable. And then more recently, the Supreme Court said, well, you can even give an employee stock options in return for their promise not to compete, and that's enforceable. So in either of those two situations, the non-compete is probably going to be held enforceable under Texas law. The one thing that still seems relatively clear is that an employer cannot just straight out pay somebody cash money on their way out of the door to execute a non-compete under Texas law, because that would be considered what they call just a naked restraint on trade. And instead, the courts have said, oh, well, you have to have some good protectable interest to have a non-compete. And so far, the courts have said those two interests are, one, trade secrets, and two, stock options, because that's kind of like business goodwill. And so under Texas law, that's when a non-compete is enforceable. And like I said, it seems to be a trend where a lot of them are enforceable now.
Mark, quick question just to follow up. Can you have an enforceable non-compete just simply for allowing the employee to stay there as an at-will employee?
No. Not just, hey, sign a non-compete and you can still work here. That's invalid. But if the non-compete is, we're giving you trade secrets or confidential information in the future, sign this and we'll give you the information, and then the employee says, well, what do I get out of it? You say, well, continued employment and the promise to get this confidential information, or like I said before, stock options, and that would be enforceable.
All right. Thanks, guys.